In the last few years, the short-term rentals and villas market has grown big. In result, new distribution channels have appeared, as we said in our last discussion, in an effort to satisfy growing demand for accommodation. Holidu, as you see in your screen, is a German platform, a search engine for vacation rentals. Mr. Francesco Vanni, Business Development Manager in Holidu.com, will explain how to attract German guests in these uncertain times. Mr. Vanni, welcome to the third BnB Greece Conference.
Thanks a lot, Vicky. Thanks for having me. So, should I start right away with...
Whenever you're ready, we are here for you.
Yes, great. Let me just quickly share my screen. Perfect.
Great.
You should be able now to see
yes.
my screen. Okay, so first of all, thank you again very much for having me in the third BnB Greece Conference. I'm really glad for the invitation and I could take part and present you a little bit Holidu and especially the focus point of the presentation on how to attract German guests in this indeed uncertain times we are currently living. So about myself. My name is Francesco Vanni. I'm the Business Development Manager for Holidu. I mostly focus on Southern European market, such as Italy, Croatia, and indeed Greece. And I joined Holidu about a year ago, and since then we have been growing very steadily our presence in the Southern market, including, of course, Greece. So my pleasure to be here and to meet you all. Hopefully next year we'll have the chance to meet you all in person. So getting started, for those of you who still are not familiar with Holidu. Holidu is a booking platform for vacation rentals. Holidu was created in 2014 by two brothers, Michael and Johannes Sievers, with the goal of making the searching and booking of vacation rentals as easy and fast as possible. How does Holidu work? So by 2020, 2021, Holidu compares thousands of different, millions of different properties coming from thousands of different partners, property managers all over the world. And by comparing them, it displays to the end users the best properties with the best prices, allowing hence to the users to avoid this search on several platforms to find the best solution for their holidays. So as I was saying, we work already with thousands of agencies. Our focus are especially property manager, local property managers, for which we generate hundreds of thousands of booking each month. And for which we really root for to boost visibility and yeah, of course, bookings. So Holidu was founded in Germany. For this reason, we are also today going to talk about German users. Our user base is mostly German speaking. They're based in either Germany, Austria, or Switzerland, and as I was saying, we have been doing this for the last 6-7 years. So we have had the chance to build up quite some data, some database that allows us to foresee a little bit what trends are currently ongoing in the market, and especially to prepare better for times like this, where nothing is really clear until just weeks before it actually happens. So As I was saying, Germany. We are based in Germany, and today's point of the presentation will basically, on the first part, have a look at what are actually German travelers looking for in 2021, and on the second part, what property managers, what you as a property manager can do in order to be better positioned to attract these German travelers towards your properties, basically. So we have identified, let's say, 3 macro trends generally for this year. The first trend is domestic travel. So on the one side, similarly to 2020, we are still seeing that Germans are looking for properties that are mostly based on a regional or a national level, also for 2021. As COVID is still a present reality, for sure the increase in cases that we had in the past months has not really helped to boost confidence. But at the same time, what we are seeing now is that with the right conditions, German travelers are indeed ready to book their holidays abroad. And this will be the focus for the next couple of slides. A second macro trend we have seen among German users is that they are especially aiming to rural destinations. So big city breaks are currently not the top searches. What German travelers are looking for right now is an escape into the nature, to the beach, to avoid this lengthy lockdowns they had to face during the winter. So definitely for the high season travelers are really preferring isolated and rural vacation solutions over the cities. So as we're saying, islands or mountains and so on. A third macro trend we have seen is that vacation rental is getting a huge boost in these times. So if in the past couple of years, of course, vacation rental as a segment has been growing overall, in 2020 and 2021, we can see really that it's gaining even more traction, and it's taking a lot of booking value from the hotel market. So to recap, Germans right now are still looking at listings, properties, and holidays in Germany or countries that are very close to Germany, but at the same time, under the right condition, they will also they're ready, more than ready, actually, to travel abroad. When traveling, they are focusing on rather rural destinations. So as we said, islands, mountains, and so on. And thirdly, they're looking for more isolated, more private and isolated accommodation. Hence, hotels are not the ideal in the current situation, and that's why the vacation rental segment is getting a lot of traction among German users. And so, as we said, right conditions. What are property managers supposed to do in order to catch the interest of German travelers towards their properties? I managed to hear a little bit of the conversation before I joined, and I heard that many points which I strongly share, and that I will also show you here. As a first crucial step, property managers should really try to become more visible. Let's say being connected to the more traditional OTAs is indeed a must if you want to get more visibilities, but also looking at alternative and also local sales channels to list your properties is also becoming more and more important, for the simple reason that in the last couple of years, many new alternative players have been growing compared to the traditional sales channels, and are able to register similarly to Holidu, millions and millions and millions of users and hundreds of thousands of bookings. So property managers really need to make sure that they are listing their properties on the channels that are of value for them. If you're looking to catch German travelers, for example, you should make sure that you are also present on sales channels that are going strong in Germany, as for example, Holidu could be. And while doing this, also it is important that you're also locally friendly. And with locally friendly, what I mean is that you really need to make sure that your properties are friendly for the local users. So a clear example here would be to have a description in both English and German, if it would be to attract German users, to have the description in Danish if you want to attract Danish users, and so on. So on the one side, of course, be listed on this additional sales channels, but on the other side also to make sure that you're also listed properly. And here, when we are talking about getting more visibility, it's also important that within this new sales channel you are connecting, you're able to let's say shine among all the properties that are listed. Of course, cancellation conditions in this moment are a very sensitive topic, and many sales channels are actually pushing more and more properties on their to their users that actually offer more flexible cancellation policies. The reason, as was mentioned before, is quite simple. Travelers now more than ever need financial security. It has, in the last decades, probably it has never been as difficult as right now to travel abroad, and to make life easier for travelers, and boost also their confidence towards your properties, is to offer the right cancellation conditions. And with right cancellation condition, I'm not saying that you should offer a completely free cancellation condition for your properties, because of course this is not affordable for all of the property managers. But at the same, what I mean here is that you should try to move towards more a flexible condition in order to get on the one side more clicks, and automatically on the other one also more bookings. We at Holidu had several cases for property managers or agencies that switched from strict cancellation policies, non-refundable cancellation policies, towards more flexible cancellation policies. And overnight, you could really see the changes in terms of clicks and booking they started receiving. And this is a clear sign also for us that as a channel, our responsibilities is, of course, also to make sure that we offer the best possible solution to our users, and seeing that this kind of condition is working very well to them. It's our goal to offer this kind of properties to the end users. So definitely more flexible cancellation policies is an excellent way to attract German, but not only German travelers. Then as a third step, the first step is to make sure to offer the right services. So here, of course, we have to look at the individual cases. What is important here is that, of course, when available, you really have to display your services correctly on the sales channel. We at Holidu, for example, are seeing that, especially in Greece, properties with pool and internet Wi-Fi remain as the more search, more booked, the more clicked. These are currently the key drivers. But at the same time, what we have seen in 2020, and we are still seeing now, is an increase in the search for properties that have some open space. So either a garden or a large terrace, in order to escape a little bit to the closed spaces that most of the travelers, most of the users are currently experiencing by living in larger cities. So definitely also gardens and terraces, when available, should definitely be displayed on your properties. As well, finally, as well as cleaning and disinfection. This is a very delicate topic, I would say. It's for users more than ever, having the guarantee that the property they are gonna rent is clean as well as disinfected is crucial. We get in our customer happiness, we are getting thousands of requests also about this sort of feature. So and this really helps to boost your listings on sales channels. So key message here is when available, make sure also to display the right services on your properties. Finally, as a final point, is to have your calendars ready. With having your calendars ready, I'm talking mainly about having longer periods in your calendars available, especially in the high season, because what we are seeing is that users travelers are really willing to stay abroad also for a longer period. The reason here is connected to several factors. On the one side, travelers that last year in 2020 didn't manage to move their holiday are willing to spend a longer time now this year in 2021 abroad. And on the other side, still having to take a risk in some extent to be abroad. The travelers still prefer to spend more time abroad to make the trip really worth it. So it's very important that you keep your weeks available and bookable for at least 2-3 weeks, 2-3 week long trips, especially in the high season. So to recap here, on the one side, try to be as visible as possible, try to connect as many sales channels as possible that make sense to you as a property manager. And here, of course, the channel manager solution can really help you. While becoming more visible, make sure that you're locally friendly, have the descriptions ready in the language of the users or that the sales channel targets. On the other side, make sure to have the right cancellation conditions, which doesn't mean having completely free cancellation condition, but more flexible cancellation condition. This already will, for sure, boost your visibility on many sales channels that are currently pushing this type of properties. Third point, make sure that if on the one side description is correct, make sure that also all the services your property are correctly displayed, are well visible to the users. And on a last point, make sure that you have available calendars for 2020 as well as for 2021 as well as for 2022. We are already seeing quite some interest for properties for holidays in 2022. This might sound quite absurd considering that we are only in the third week of January of 2021. But travelers want to be as safe as possible, so they already are trying to look for the best property possible for 2022 already. So make sure that you have the prices and the calendars ready also for not only this year but also next year. Then moving on, how could, for example, Holidu help you in attracting German users? So Holidu as an alternative channel has been growing very fast in the last couple of years. We have been able to open over 21 domains worldwide, mainly focusing on Europe. We as a sales channel allow direct booking to property managers that connect to us. And not only showing your properties, but by also showing the brand and the name of your company below your property. So boosting boosting the brand awareness around your properties. And finally, having the best price. So as you as a property manager have basically the full control of the prices when publishing on Holidu, and having the best price on Holidu would mean that your properties would appear right away to users. And finally, also a very appreciated point of working, for example, with Holidu, is that a lot of our traffic is coming from our mobile, our app, meaning that we are able to attract even more users. And this has also been reflected in some numbers. If we have been registering, for example, in 2020, where we had an average of 25 million visitors per month, which had access to properties coming from over 1,100 property managers and inventory partners that have already started to collaborate with us, generating those over 100,000 monthly bookings over several months, basically. And especially for Greece, specifically for Greece, Holidu could be your choice as a sales channel if you're really looking towards boosting your bookings coming from Germany. As you can see, more than 50 up to 60% of the bookings we have registered in Greece are actually coming from our German domains, and followed by English, French, and other type of travelers or travelers coming from other countries, basically. So if what you're looking for is expanding your presence in the German market, attracting more German travelers to your properties, then Holidu could actually be a very good choice for you to connect to. So I'm more than happy to answer to some questions at this point. And if you have any inquiries for me or generally for Holidu, how to work with us, you can email me right away. And yeah, thank you very much for the attention.
Great, Francesco. Thank you very much. Greece is a well-known destination to Germans, but as you already said, up until now, Germans seem to prefer hotels, and mostly large hotels. They're visiting Greece through tour operators. But you already said that COVID seems to make them change this attitude, and right now they are also looking for more private places, as they seem to think they're more safe for them and their families. This is very, very promising for the short-term rentals market in Greece. And since Germans know Greece and they like to visit it, and as before, I believe Mr. Mason from Booking said that travelers seem to be interested in traveling to places that they already know, that they visited before, and they feel familiar with the destination. So maybe there is a very good trend here to see German visitors right now coming to Greece and stay in private accommodations, such as short-term rentals and villas in the islands that they love so much. Thank you very much, Francesco, and we'll keep in touch, and we'll share all your insights from this very useful platform for the Greek managers. And thank you for your presentation in the third BnB Greece Conference.
You're more than welcome. Thank you again very much for having me. And yeah, keep in touch and hopefully see you soon.